Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints.
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the conundrum. It's Frank. How are you today?
Oh, I am happy to be here with you, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Frank. I'm doing well. I'm having a real beer this week, which is not something I can always say, truthfully and truthfully. And it's exciting. What are
Tell
you?
me about it.
I am drinking. I mean, the beer is not super exciting, but it is delicious. Should note, I'm drinking a Von Trapp Pilsner.
Yes.
The trappiness is it's a trap. Oh, that should be what that one on May the 4th. Their social should be like, it's a Von Trapp.
Oh man, I hope they do.
Yeah, like that's what's been missing from the Sound of Music this whole time. Admiral
Agreed.
Akbar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Needs more Akbar, please.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't think that Captain Von Trapp is ever like, I should really consult with my commander, and it's just Admiral Akbar. Like,
yes. Sure.
Should we join the Nazi party? It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Von Trapp.
There you go.
That's the kind of crossover that I'm looking for. That would be an amazing crossover.
That would be a great crossover.
Oh my gosh. You go.
Right.
Actually, I would love the Sound of Music, but in the Star Wars universe. Like, instead of Nazis, it's the Empire, like it's early Empire days.
Yeah.
I would 100% be on board for that.
I absolutely would watch that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The music you could do with that too.
What if Maria is a Night Sister instead of?
Sure. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Oh yeah. It would be so good. It would be so good. Instead of Lonely Goat Herd, it's just. High on the hill was a lonely goat. Like.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, what beer are you drinking?
This far off the rails already?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I'm happy for you. I'm having a new beer to me, a new discovery of mine. Saw a friend over the weekend. Met up with her at a local brewery in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Liar's Bench, and I picked up a 4-pack of their Italian Pilsner, Piliati Pils.
Did you get it because it was Italian?
No, actually, I got it. Well, I mean, yeah, kind of. I wanted a Pilsner, or I wanted something like on the
Italian Pilsners are great.
But this was what I was in the mood for, and I picked it up and enjoyed. I've been enjoying the heck out of it. So enjoying it out of my Luke Skywalker Burger King glass.
Yes.
From 1977.
So good. It's funny that we're both drinking Pilsners, actually.
Yeah.
Mine's an Australian Pilsner. So what would you say is the difference between just an Italian Pilsner and the rest of them?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I would guess it has to do with what malt they're using.
Okay. That would make sense. Yeah. There's like a crisper, more carbonated feel, I think, to the Italian Pilsners, right?
Okay.
It's like
I would say so. Yes.
It's a little bit more bubble kick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it.
Which sounds
like a Powder Puff Girls move. Yeah.
Bubble kick.
Bubble kick.
That's dang. on fire today.
Am I? Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. So, in the grand tradition of the one time that we did a game that was suggested to us by ChatGPT, following in that grand tradition, we have another game suggested by ChatGPT, and that game is called Crossover Conundrum.
I wish I had like a good song for it because it feels like that would be the moment to put in a song, but I don't have one. So instead, it's just going to be. What did you just write? I was speaking.
ChatGPT was just talking to me.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, good for her. All right. So the idea is take two characters from different franchises and have a crossover between them. Sort of explore like what might they do together, or what hijinks might they get themselves into when you get two opposing personalities or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had it generate a bunch of suggestions for us, and I'm just gonna go down the list.
We'll see what happens. All right, Frank,
All right.
Take it away. What's our first? I don't know any of them except the first one. So you have complete control.
Yeah, you know the first one. I'm gonna put that one to the side for now.
Okay.
Let's start with, and if you're still not quite getting what the game is, this should help it snap into focus. What if Indiana Jones and Lara Croft Tomb Raider crossover?
Oh my goodness gracious!
Right, like the adventures that they could have, like two archaeologists embarking on a quest for an ancient
for a thing, for
lost
a MacGuffin.
artifact. And they're both super good looking. And what else?
Would Indy be confused as to why she favors a bow and arrow at different points? Although
Probably.
original Lara Croft also had guns, but
sure.
I think Lara Croft would be annoyed at how how Indiana Jones bumbles his way through adventures.
Totally.
Like, I don't know, I'm making this up as I go along. Like, Lara Croft does not make things up as she goes along. She knows.
Yes, that's right.
You know.
But that's the tension, right? Is that she would have it all planned out and he's just sort of improvising. But when they get into a situation where she doesn't have a plan, that's when he comes in with the MacGyver.
That's true.
See? So it's a
good give and take. And she's British, so like everything's going to go to the British Museum.
Yes,
and that's right. And he is the ambiguous museum. So,
right. Because it belongs in a museum.
It belongs in a museum. So maybe there wouldn't be so much tension over there. I don't think.
Maybe not.
Would there be like romantic tension though?
I don't think she'd be into him at all.
No, I don't think so either. No,
I think she'd find him like old fashioned and
I think he would be annoyed by her. I feel.
Yes.
Though he does. I mean, Marion can take care of herself, and that's what he likes about that's what he likes about Marion. Is what he likes about Elsa. In some way that they're not damsel in distresses a lot of times, even though they tend to be in distress at different points. Like,
sure,
he's a little old fashioned that way. Would he be off put by how modern she is? He being a man of the 30s and 40s.
I think he would be. I think he would be off put just by any being from he's living in the 30s and 40s and to see the 2000s, late 90s 2000s is gonna scandalize him no matter what, right?
What ancient thing are they getting that would be the thing together? What do you think that they would both need to get?
It's got to be something. Where is Lara Croft? Where is it?
Where is she located? Depends on the game or the movies. I'm gonna say. I mean, they're both globe-trotting. So
yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm gonna say Spear of Destiny. That's what I'm gonna say.
Ooh, Spear of Destiny. Okay, I like this.
Yeah, they're gonna go after Spear. That feels like something. I feel like Lara Croft did go after the Spear of Destiny at one point in one of the movies. I can't remember. It's been too long, and I'm not gonna look it up.
Yeah, no.
I'm not wasting a look up on the Lara Croft movies.
No. Honestly, I should have used my one lookup on Italian Pilsners versus Australian Pilsners, but Time for that's past.
Yeah, nope. Can't go back to answer questions, Frank. That's a rule that we made up right now.
Yes, that's right.
This is a good one. You want to do another one?
Let's do another one. Let's go with this. Jon Snow and Aragorn.
Oh, all right. So, two long, slightly curly-haired, wielding swordsmen.
Sure. Yes.
One is
two strapping, good-looking men.
I think
with long hair.
It depends on the world in which they find themselves, because I think they're both equally annoyed that like people aren't just doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like, so if Aragorn somehow finds himself in Westeros, he would just be disgusted by how terrible everyone is.
Right.
And I like just like morally terrible, except for Jon Snow, really. And then I think if Jon Snow ended up in Middle Earth, he'd be like, wow, so like the good guys are just good and the bad guys are just bad. How simple and lovely and normal and nice this is. But I think they would like, there'd be a lot of sizing up early on. You know, there'd be like a lot of like slightly distrustful like looks up and down. You know,
that's my question. What would their first encounter be?
Well, it depends if Aragorn is king or if Aragorn is like doing his Strider thing, you know. So I'm going to say if he's the ranger, there's a bit of distrust, but they're going to come to realize they both like each other's leather jerkins.
Yes, the thing that brings us all together.
The leather jerkin, exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay.
They'd be friends. Yeah.
They would. Okay. It's all right. Cool. That one was really for you.
Thank you.
Here's one that maybe I'll be more. Buffy Summers from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Harry Potter.
Okay, you go, because you know Buffy way better than I do.
Right. And you know Harry Potter way better than I do. I think so. She would find him an annoying kid.
Even though she herself is a kid.
Yes, but she'd find him like a twerp.
Why? I don't know, Buffy. Why would she find Harry Potter a twerp?
She wouldn't be able to take him seriously because of how English he is.
Okay, that's a Buffy thing. That's Southern California. Like, well, you're a little too British for me, the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, right. She would just find him like ridiculous and hard to take seriously. And I feel like he would have a huge crush on her. Like unrequited. She's annoyed by him, and he got a crush on her, and they have to go on adventures together.
I feel like he would be a little bit off-put by how many magical creatures she kills.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, because like Harry coexists with so many magical creatures, and many of them don't try to kill him. It is wizards that try to kill him.
This is true.
But he's never been attacked by a vampire or a demon or anything in like ghosts or some of his friends, and you know, or like acquaintances at least. So I think that he would be drawn to her because she's so cool, but he would be off put because that's like she lives in a weird way a more violent life than he does.
Yes.
Even though his life actually is quite violent, but most of his life is I'm going to school, where Buffy's more like I happen to be at a school. But I wouldn't say I go to school.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she's engaging in hand-to-hand combat every day, and he's not. He's not.
Yeah. It's a serious...
But he's got, he knows his way around a wand better than she does.
That's true. It's a serious question about Buffy. Does she have, like, superior strength? Like, how does Buffy the Vampire Slayer start slaying vampires?
Yeah, the Slayer is chosen in every generation. A Slayer is chosen. And given the superhuman strength.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so the vampire, all of the bad guys always seek out, either are afraid of the Slayer or are seeking her out to challenge her.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that does make sense, I guess. Yeah. I guess that's why they all come to her, right? Because they want to challenge. They want to
Yes.
That's a little Harry Potter-esque. I feel like Harry Potter can relate to that.
Yes. And the town that she lives in is situated over a hellmouth.
That
so
I weirdly did know for
yes.
almost never seeing any of Buffy. I do know that.
That one, yeah, that one comes across. So they're all coming out of there.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, next thing.
On to the next one. Let's go with the Doctor and Rick from Rick and Morty.
Oh, the chaos that would ensue. Oh, my gosh. All right, so I think you have to be specific in which Doctor.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Do you want to go with David Tennant since that's the one?
That's the one I know the best. Yeah. I think that... Would Rick just try to kill him?
I kind of think so.
Yeah. Just regular Rick, not any of the Council of Ricks, not just regular universe Rick.
Yes.
Although Rick,
I think regular universe Rick would be trying to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's he messes with time, or you got to set it right, or
he's got two hearts.
Yeah, or if anything, the Doctor is actually actively trying to stop Rick because Rick is just the worst.
Ooh, okay. You know what? Yeah, because I guess it's a crossover. It doesn't have to be a team up. It's a crossover.
Correct.
So Rick could be the bad guy.
I'm pretty sure Rick's the bad guy.
Rick's the bad guy.
Because even when Rick is technically the good guy, and I use that oh so very loosely. When he's, I guess, the protagonist.
Yeah, that's probably a better word.
But he's not even really the protagonist, because the protagonist, by his definition, has to actually have a character arc. They have to change in some way. And Rick doesn't really change. He's just static. He's just Rick. So, I think they would actually be at odds with one another. This wouldn't be like a Act 1 Portal, Act 2 they fight, Act 3 they team up against a larger threat. I could see them teaming up against some kind of larger threat.
I think it's more of a rom-com structure. It's like Act 1 they're meet cute, Act 2 they realize they hate each other, and then Act 3 they come back together.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could do that. Do you think that Rick would find a way to force regeneration on the Doctor because he didn't like David Tennant and hopes the next one will be better?
Yeah, he'd probably force a bunch in a row, nope, until he got to one he liked.
Yeah. I would.
You are now the 37th Doctor.
Oh, great. Okay, great. Yeah, I like that.
Left off at 14. Crap.
Oh man. Okay, next one.
Sherlock Holmes and Dana Scully from the X-Files.
She wouldn't believe that he was. All right, well, if it's original Sherlock Holmes, he'd be a man out of time, or she'd be a woman out of time. But let's say it's modern day Benedict Cumberbatch or something like that.
Okay,
just to make it, to simplify things.
Yes.
I think they'd be best friends.
I kind of think so. I think I think he would. Yeah, I think they'd be best friends.
Yeah,
I think she would have a I think she'd be into his deal. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that. I think she'd be into his deal. I think she'd be a big fan. I
think that he's so no nonsense, and so is she.
Yes.
That because the whole thing is there's no such thing as aliens, Mulder or whatever. Yeah. That's not really what she sounds like at all, but there's no such thing as aliens.
But she's the What is that? That's like your cousin Tony from Jersey.
I don't know. There's a body swap episode. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can go with that. But yeah, she's hard science, right? That's her thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's just hard answers. So
right.
I think that their brains would click well, even if things do a lot of times can go unexplained in the X-Files. I don't obviously it was a man in a mask or whatever. He would take it the step further to actually solve the mystery and then be like, oh, aliens. Well,
God,
right.
yes.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like if anybody's actually going to get it or believe that aliens are real, it might be Sherlock Holmes.
That's true. Yeah. How about there's an episode where she is because they're dealing with things that are more modern than he knows. She is the Sherlock, and he's the Watson for that episode.
I'd love that, because it's like a fish out, like a fish out of water,
it is
man
like
out of time.
Water,
yeah. So like, Sherlock Holmes being in a different time period is interesting, just because he has everything so figured out in the world that he knows. So you put him in a world that he doesn't know. What do you do? I'm sure that there's a story somewhere like that.
I'm sure that's
not an original idea.
Time traveling Sherlock Holmes is a very interesting.
Do you remember the show Sherlock Holmes, the Sherlock Holmes show where it was set in the future? It was like a Fox Kids show. I will use my lookup for this.
Yeah, that sounds worth it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Fox Kids.
It was Fox Kids, then that fits perfectly because Twilight Zone, X-Files is Fox, so.
Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century is an animated program where Holmes is brought to life in the 22nd century. Yes. It ran for 26 episodes, 2 seasons. Set in 2103 in New London, Inspector Beth Lestrade of New Scotland Yard is chasing the grotesquely deformed French rogue geneticist Martin Fenwick when she realizes that his companion is none other than the 19th century criminal mastermind Professor James Moriarty. She then discovers that this is not the original Moriarty, but rather a clone created from cells taken from his corpse, which Sherlock Holmes has buried in a Swiss ice cave after Moriarty's death in 1891. Lestrade knows that Holmes died of natural causes many years later, and that his corpse is preserved in a glass-walled, honey-filled coffin in the basement of New Scotland. That's really hard to say, New Scotland Yard. She takes the body from the basement and delivers it to biologist Sir Evan Hargreaves, who resembles Holmes' creator, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, which is cool, who has just invented a process of cellular rejuvenation. Hargreaves uses this process to return to life and youth to Holmes' body so he can once again battle Professor Moriarty. Holmes returns to Old Baker Street rooms, which he preserved in a museum. Lestrade's compute droid, reads the original journals. Dr. H. Watson assumes his name, face, voice, and mannerisms to assist Holmes in crime solving. So Watson is a droid. Yep, that's how they did it.
That's an interesting spin on it.
Yep, I liked this show. This was, I think, around the same time that they also had a Phantom TV show, and it was also in the future, Phantom 2049.
Oh, okay, that I feel like I remember, but yeah, the Sherlock one, I don't know how. I guess I didn't watch a ton of Fox Kids. I guess that's probably why.
I watched it like every so often. That was like It was not an all the time. It was not an all the time show, but it was only on for a season, so obviously it was not on, or I guess 2 seasons, but I don't remember all of it. But good stuff.
Interesting.
Great stuff.
Okay, let's try. Do you know Mass Effect at all?
No,
because I don't.
I do not.
Okay, so let's skip that one.
I've heard of it.
It was just in case you're curious, Captain Jean-Luc Picard and Commander Shepard from.
Yeah, I don't know him. No,
don't know the first thing.
I do know, of course, Jean-Luc Picard, USS Enterprise. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of USS Enterprise.
Okay. Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne.
Oh, Bruce would hate Tony Stark.
Yeah, I don't think. and Tony would love like winding him up.
Yes. And I think assuming they know each other's identities, and even like Tony went to the cave, he'd have so many suggestions and critiques and everything. Yes. He just wouldn't get Batman shtick.
Yes.
Because the DC hero, Marvel heroes rarely have shticks. They're mostly just themselves. And very I guess Spider-Man's got a shtick, but even then it's not like he has a spider cave or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Batman goes hard. Everything is his lair is bat themed.
Yeah.
Right.
Peter wears a spider costume, but like Bruce makes it his personality.
Right. Because Peter doesn't like act like a spider as part of his personality where he like scuttles away or like appears in your room without you knowing or whatever. Just like what spiders do. And it's, like a lot of Marvels, they like happen to also be a superhero, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas like that Batman's personality, Bruce's personality is Batman. Right?
Batman, yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, they are different. So like if Tony Stark just met Bruce Wayne, I think he'd feel like the vapid Bruce Wayne, he'd feel a kinship with in some ways.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. Like I feel like at different points in their lives, like Tony would understand Bruce or or vice versa even. But I think like Bruce would like be disgusted by like, I'm pretending you're just an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, like you're wasting your life. Yeah. Yeah. I think that I would enjoy how much Tony would annoy Bruce.
Yes.
Yeah.
That could be a very fun dynamic.
I would love some kind, if you watch it, there's some kind of scene where he'd be like, you're this smart, you have all this money. And like, Tony's like, I did this, the like Iron Man armor, whatever. And you're just running around in a bat costume. But that's like, there'd be some moment where Batman reveals basically his version of the Iron Man suit. And it's going to be amazing. And there's going to be some kind of iron envy from Tony because it's like, yes, I can do what you do, but I'm basically better than you because I can do it with and without the armored suit.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be the
bat iron.
The bat iron, right? Exactly. Oh man, that would be a good one. I like that one.
That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. Michael Scott and Leslie Knope.
Oh my gosh. You are a bigger fan of The Office and Parks and Rec, so how do you feel this is going to go down?
Oh, I think he's going to be trying to impress her and make a fool out of himself in that way with like I don't know, like Miladies and a bunch of that kind of stuff. And I can't decide if she's going to find him super annoying or charming. Maybe charming and then super annoying.
It's both. She's going to be so annoyed at how disorganized he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
But then he's going to be like, something, that's what she said. And she's going to find it. And she's going to think that's funny. Or maybe she won't because she's like so like hardcore family. Like maybe that would be the thing that like annoys her.
Like she'll turn around and be like, oh, I hate him so much. That's what she said is even funny.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That'd be so fun. That's such a good crossover. Yeah.
I think that's a good one to end on.
That's a good one. I agree. Frank, where can the people find us?
You can shoot on over to beerwithgeeks.com to find this and every episode of the show. You can go over to patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio if you want to become a member and help us fund the show. And you can find us, rate and review us anywhere that podcasts are found. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere.
Very good, Frank. This was fun. Thank you, ChatGPT, for sponsoring this episode. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.